This is a guitar I just got. This is the one of the new Eddie Van Halen Wolfgang Striped series guitars. I'm gonna set this on standby for right now. This is actually made in Mexico, and I've always kind of had a love-hate relationship with guitars that are not made from their origin country.
Yeah.
Like Ibanez, made in Japanese, made in Japan, made in Japanese. And of course EVH is made in America. And you know, each brand has its own their lower end lines.
Yeah. Well, like me, I'm a Fender guy, so most of the Fenders we like USA Fenders, and there's different ones.
Exactly.
And then the made in Mexico, I mean, they're great guitars, but USA usually go for more money. Is that how it works in the
Yeah, that's how it works
world?
for this. You know, standard EVH, which, you know, why guitars are so expensive now is just beyond me. You know, but a regular Wolfgang, a standard USA Wolfgang, you know, they're going from $3,200 to $3,600 street. You know, and as you know, I'm a big Wolfgang fan.
Yeah.
You know, I play the PVs.
Yeah.
I love
You've got one that you've had for how long?
the 1996.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's my main gigging guitar.
Yeah.
As you know, and so look, because of the price of the new ones, and they're not different enough from my PV to necessitate me spending that kind of money.
To upgrade.
Yeah, because my
anything.
they're amazing
Yeah.
guitars. I absolutely love them.
Well, let's get into details. American versus, you know, Japan made and stuff. What's different about them? The wood, the electronics?
Well, okay, being this one's made in Mexico, and the reason I got this one is because these guitars, as you may or may not know, these are hand painted.
Okay.
In Mexico, and the paint job on these guitars are absolutely flawless. I mean,
Nice.
everything on it is
it
just
looks beautiful. It's got a good-
fantastic. This one, this particular model does have the ebony fretboard, like on the USA's. It does have the 12 to 16 compound radius, like on the USA's. It's got the Wolfgang humbuckers. It's got, these are both the twos, and the new guitars. I think the signatures will have a 2 and a 3 in the front. And that's the only difference. It does have the Burns low friction pot and the Burns high friction. Mm-hmm. It does have the EVH trim on it.
Yeah, which is all standard. You can do drop D with that. That's all
Yeah,
standard.
this comes with the D-Tuna. And so this is pretty much a USA. Now, this has the Korean-made trim on it. Mm-hmm. And from what I've heard, this is the same trim that Eddie Van Halen uses, because he said he likes the tone of it better than the German-made one. I guess he can hear an ant fart.
Right. Yeah, the guy knows how.
Yeah, because I can't hear a difference between any of them. So basically, you know, the EVH carve, you get the same guitar as the USA minus the stainless steel frets, which I'm a huge fan of stainless steel, as you know, because I've had them installed in my PVs.
Yeah.
And of course, the headstock on this one is straight, to where on the USA's they tilt back. It doesn't have the dip-in cut; they tilt back a little bit.
So if you buy this guitar and it comes from the factory, is there anything you want to do before you play it?
Well, in this particular model, yes, which is why this guitar is. A few problems I had with this guitar when I got it, and I was a little upset about it because I expected a little more. I got this, like I said, because it has all the appointments of USA plus the paint job, which you cannot get on a USA. The paint job is flawless, like I said. But the problem with this guitar is I expected the neck to be rolled a little better. I can feel the frets on the side. That was a big downer for me. The biggest downer, and this is where I've got my big beef with the guitar, is the company I ordered it from. You know, I cut it out with the back. $1,600 guitar does not come with a gig bag or a case.
Wow.
That's my first bitch about this guitar.
So this thing's shipped in a cardboard
It is
box?
shipped in a box, and you get it like this.
Nice.
Kind of shocks me.
Yeah.
You know, so if you ever see this, Ed, I mean, if we got to do a fundraiser for Eddie Van Halen to throw,
throw a gig bag in.
Throw
At
a
least
gig
Taylor
bag
does
in.
a gig bag.
Yeah, I mean, do something for the love of God.
Yep.
So we're talking about the gig bag, and yeah, this guitar for $1,600. Now, $1,600 in today's market of uber expensive guitars. You think, well, that's not a lot of money. But for your average player, $1,600 is a tremendous amount of money.
I want one hell of a guitar for $1,600.
Exactly. And there's things you expect. And one of it is come with a gig bag, for the love of God.
Protect your investment.
Exactly. And it literally ships in a box.
Yeah.
And you open it up and you pull it out. But when I got this one, I do what everybody does when you get a guitar. First thing I did is, grab my pick, grab a string, and I went straight to the high E. And as soon as I grabbed it, it rolled off the bottom of the neck. Okay, well, that's just my hand position.
Right.
Crack my knuckles, grab it again, it rolls off. And I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on here? So after that, when I figure out, well, there's definitely something wrong with the guitar. So after that, the first thing I did is I grabbed the guitar and I started looking at it, and I noticed that the string, the high E, was all the way down on the very edge of the neck.
Yeah.
And which obviously is wrong.
Yeah. What is that?
Well, that's the next part. Is so I was looking at the guitar, so I grabbed it. We got a friend here.
Yeah, yeah. That's the studio dog.
The studio dog. Yeah. That's the guard dog that protects everything.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the guitar again and I was playing it, and when I did, I grabbed it here, and then when I picked the guitar up, I felt the neck move.
So it's just not seated correctly?
So not that it wasn't seated correctly. So I flip it over, I grab a Phillips head screwdriver, let me unplug that, and all these screws in the back of this neck were not even finger tight.
Yeah. Now, does that come from the dealer? Do they set these up? Or?
That's where I've got my issue, because this guitar, somehow got out of the Wolfgang factory, the EVH factory in Mexico, with the screws loose, neck shifted down, and the guitar store that I bought it from, they supposedly have this big inspection process, which they failed miserably, because the entire, it was shifted down a good, oh my God, eighth of an inch. It was down. It had a lot of play. And I'm talking eighth of an inch from this.
In their defense, could it be part of shipping? Was the box damaged or anything like that?
Well, I'm like everybody else, and I've ordered a lot of guitars, and I've never had one come in with a loose neck.
Yeah.
Ever. Never in a million years. So after I got the neck tightened up and all that, and I had to pull everything back up, the other problem, you probably can't see it on camera, but you might be able to see it. If you look here, look at the dots. Look at the front of the neck, lower the back of the guitar. The dots should be dead center of the strings, and you see how they're off.
I do.
String number 4. Okay. So I've got the neck pulled up as far as I could, because when I got it originally, they were sitting like this.
Okay.
So then I got to kicking around, and I started noticing, I don't know if the camera can see this or not on the tremolo, but if you look here, see that gap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to be like that on one side. Wow, that's a... Can I say that? That's a shitty made deal for... How much is this guitar?
$1,600.
Wow.
So I got on Google and I started looking up every picture I could find of every one of these guitars, and I did not find a single one that had that gap in the trim system right there. So the only thing that I could think of, which is unheard of, is this needs to be shifted up, because I can't move the neck anymore to align it.
This is definitely a quality problem. That's...
Absolutely. And my thing is, how did this get out of the EVH factory like this?
There's got to be inspections on these things.
Yeah.
So how would they, for that amount of money, there's quality control, man, to go, with this person is buying a $1,600 guitar, we don't want these kind of issues, and it would be in the B stock. It wouldn't go out shipping.
Well, exactly. And how this got through is beyond me. Nobody noticed this and sent me this guitar, and I noticed it literally within 30 minutes of owning the guitar.
Now, when you bought your other EVH, like originally, did you have any kind of problems with a guitar like that you remember?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And this is the first Mexican I've ever bought.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying that you buy a USA, you're going to have these issues. And of course, it's going to come in,
Yeah, but still $1,600. That's a
lot of money.
That's a damn good Stratocaster that's built very good.
That's a lot of good guitars that are built very good.
Yeah, traditional Les Pauls.
Yeah, you're in the getting into the ballpark of the Prestige Ibanez's, which are made in Japan, which are phenomenal guitars.
Yeah.
And you're getting into a lot of other guitars. You can get some of the lower end Gibson Les Pauls for this kind of price.
Yeah.
And now are they the quality of the $4,000 Les Pauls? Of course not. Yeah. Which is another video of why guitars.
So obviously, out of the box, you're going to spend some money and time setting this thing up.
If you get a good one.
Or Or you're going to. You ship it back. You just demand that's.
Yeah. Well, this one actually is going to be returned, because, like I said, I don't know if the camera can see the gap.
That's here versus here, which is flush, and there's you could get a quarter right through there.
Oh, easily. But the other problem I've got with this guitar, for whatever reason, is it will not come back to pitch.
From the tremolo.
When I get on the tremolo,
Yeah, forget that. Who do you guys? You all just went and seen Anita Strauss, right?
We just went to the Alice Cooper concert.
Yeah, and she's playing. Y'all showed me videos. She's
and she's welling on the tremolo. Yeah. Absolutely welling on it.
Yeah,
and this one
I mean, she had a guitar that did something like that, it would ruin her whole show.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And of course, they have professional techs and all that stuff. But I'm pretty good with guitars and setting them up. Yeah. But this one will not come back to pitch, and it doesn't matter how much I adjust the tremolo in the back, how many springs I add. It doesn't matter. It does not come back to pitch.
Yeah.
And usually, when that happens, you have a problem in the blade right here.
Yeah.
But being that this is a new guitar, there's no problem with the blade.
It could be hanging on what clearances are here.
Yeah, there's no telling, and I can only assume it has something to do with the fact that everything is not lined up correctly.
Yeah, and there's definitely not a break-in period on a guitar or nothing like that.
No, you should be able to get it out of the box and go.
Play it.
Yeah, and go. And all my other Wolfgangs, I've never had this type of issue with. And the fact that it won't return back to pitch makes the guitar almost unplayable, because when we played that show, about every 3 songs, I had to retune this guitar.
Wow.
When I'm playing my Tobacco Burst Wolfgang, I don't tune that guitar
and
ever.
when you're out on a show like that, you don't have time to set the you barely have time to tune a guitar.
Yeah, so this one, I was very disappointed in this. I expected a lot more out of this guitar than what I got. Yeah. And like I said, the paint job was beautiful. I don't know if I will order another one.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a letdown. And the guitar is beautiful. I mean,
we're not an EVH hater, but you did want to do this review before you sent it back to let other people know what to expect.
Yeah, because this guitar is going back to where I bought it from, because it's just for $1,600, I just expected a lot more than this.
Yeah,
and so this one didn't cut it. Period.
That's crazy. It's a beautiful guitar. Crowd loved it when we played. They talked about that guitar. They know the guitar and stuff.
Yeah, they mentioned the guitar about how pretty it was.
As far as performance, it's just not the.
It's not there. And another really weird thing about this guitar is, Les Pauls. That's your rear pickup. Mm-hmm. This is your neck pickup.
Yeah.
All EVHs are the opposite. This is the rear, because when you're tapping, when you're doing this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so you can't flip that up. This is your front pickup. But from my understanding, for whatever reason, all Mexican guitars come wired backwards. So this was the rear pickup, and that's the front. So you have to either rewire this or turn this. But last tidbit about this, good piece of information, is when I bought this guitar, it had a short and switch.
Wow.
So yeah, when you would go, because that was the rear, and then when you'd flip it up, it would play, but when I flipped it back down, the rear wouldn't play.
Golly.
So I had to pull it out of the back and find the connection that was loose in it and put it back together.
So far you spent more time working on this guitar than
besides that one show, yes. Yeah. I've spent a lot of time working on this guitar. Wow. And it was such a letdown, because like I said, it has all the appointments of the USA. It's essentially a USA arch top, all the same appointments, minus the headstock difference, and the stainless steel frets. And if Eddie Van Halen saw this, he'd probably be upset.